We spend a lifetime collecting all kinds of trinkets, old photo albums, our children's old schoolwork, books, 1,000 mugs, all kinds of tchotchkes that clutter up your cupboards and your spaces and your closets. And once we're gone, none of those things matter anymore. The hard truth is that once you die, no one wants your stuff, or very few people in your family want your stuff, especially your children. Hi, my name is Raina, and this is Small Retired Life. On my channel, we talk about all things retirement, living your life in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and older. But I think my videos would appeal to anyone who enjoys slow living and a more simple lifestyle. So if you're new, welcome here. Saying that no one wants your stuff might be really harsh, but on my channel, I'm not here to serve you pablum. I'm here to talk about real life and real things. The fact is that any one of you who have had to clear out your parents' home after they've passed away, or an aunt's home, or another relative, or even a friend, most of you realize what that really means. It means bags and bags of trash that ultimately end up either at your local waste facility or your local Goodwill shop. What do we end up keeping? A few photos, maybe the odd painting or little memento. I look back at when my sister and I had to clean out my mom and dad's house, and I've talked about it on this channel before. Mom and dad had a 4-bedroom home on half an acre for 2 people. Also, they had a 2.5-car garage, and my dad had a shop that was well over 1,200 square feet. And all of those places were full of things, full of memories and old pay stubs and old electronics that my dad had collected, and my mom's 1,000 washcloths for some reason, and old clothing. And none of those things were of interest to us. My home especially was a lot smaller, and I did not have the space to store anything like this. And so we ended up donating a lot of it, putting a lot of things into the dump, and selling what we could. And let me just say that the sale of the things from mom and dad's home didn't even cover the fee that the estate company charged us to get rid of all those things. It's really sad to think that a lifetime of memories and a lifetime of collecting ends up somewhere in the landfill. The fact is that our children do not want old sideboards and antique furniture and old china and whatever else it is you've saved from your own parents when they passed away, or from your grandparents. It's really imperative that we take a critical look around our home and truly determine what is worth keeping and what is worth decluttering. The reason our children don't really want our stuff is not because they're ungrateful. It has more to do with the fact that they live their lives differently. Often they have less space than we were used to having. And I'm generalizing here because I get that not everyone's in a big house with a big yard with a big garage. But what I'm saying is that housing is really expensive now for younger people. And so they're living in smaller spaces, in apartments and that type of thing. And they don't have the room to accommodate your stuff. It's also expensive to rent storage. As space is becoming premium around the cities, storage containers and all of those types of things cost a lot of money. Why pay over $100 a month to store stuff that you're never going to use and that's going to sit there for years and years? The real question to ask yourself is, what is it that you're actually holding on to? Is it the physical object, or is there feelings associated around it? The reason for me doing this video was actually because one of my viewers asked a question in the comments, or they made a request, and they said, could you please do a video about how to get rid of sentimental things? And I had to really think about that because I'm just not a sentimental person. I don't hold on to things to make me remember events. I have photos that are all digital and they're saved and they make me remember birthdays and that type of thing. I don't need an actual object. I think many people save things because it makes them remember moments in their life, be it, their first date or the birth of their child or a child's favorite toy. I remember my mother-in-law back in the day, she had all these toys that she had saved from her children and then passed them on to my children. I don't even know where those toys are, actually, because then when I got divorced, they ended up kind of all over the place. A lot of times we save these items thinking that they're going to bring us some kind of joy. But I guess my question is do you actually look at those items, or are they sitting in a box somewhere? And do you think that your kids will really want those items? Or what if you don't have kids? What if you're a couple that's never had children, or you're single and you've never had children? That is just a reality today. So who are you saving these things for, and why are you saving them? I think sometimes we hold on to things for a version of us that doesn't exist anymore. Think of some of the clothing you have in your closet. When I retired, I had all these beautiful, beautiful corporate clothes that I loved. They were really expensive and I thought they looked really good. And the first year they sat in my closet and I never wore them because they did not fit the new me and my new life. And I realized I didn't need those clothes and someone else could potentially make use of them, so I donated them to an organization that outfits women for their first job interview. Women that don't have the money to go out there and buy an expensive suit. I realized that a lot of my things I was hanging on to on the basis of my old life. And now I have this new life and I'm doing different things. And so it's worthwhile considering, why are you keeping your things? Is there things in your home that are based on an old life that no longer serve you? I really believe that some of our things, they're kind of like a story. They tell this story and that's great, except sometimes if you get stuck in a story, you can't move on. So by evaluating the things that you're hanging on to, your material things, I think it will allow you not only to reflect on where you're at and how much you've grown, but perhaps it will make the process of letting go of some of those things a little bit easier. Minimalism is not about having nothing. It's about having what matters. And in retirement, we all of a sudden have all this time to do things, to travel, to go out and do our favorite sports, or spend time on our hobbies. And I'm not saying to get rid of things that allow you to spend your day doing what you love. I mean, I have a lot of hobbies. I love to knit. I'm just getting into sewing. I love to read. I enjoy filming videos. So I have things that allow me to do that. I have a sewing machine. I have knitting needles. I have cameras. I have computers and iPads for editing my videos. And I'm not getting rid of those things because I use those things every day. What I'm talking about is things that are sitting in your cupboards. Let's be honest, do you really need 20 mugs? At one point, I had like 20 mugs. And really, I only use maybe 4 or 5. I like to change my mug out every day of the week for my coffee. So I happen to have 7 mugs and I kind of keep it at that number. I have a few Christmas mugs that I have stored, like 2 or 3 that I enjoy using during Christmas. But I very carefully manage my mug collection because it could easily get out of hand. All of those things that you're keeping because you think you're going to be giving them to your children or to other people, maybe a good policy would be to ask now whether they're interested in those things. And if they are and you're not using them, does it make sense to give them away now? And clear up a little bit of space so that you don't have as much noise around you and you can spend more time focusing on the things that you enjoy. Instead of having constant organizing, maybe think about letting go of something. Instead of accumulating things and storing things, give yourself the luxury of some empty space. Empty space is nice. There's studies that show that when you have less around you, you actually feel better and you feel more calm. I know that I definitely don't like cluttered surfaces, and a clean home makes me feel calm. It's easier to clean. Now, if you're a maximalist, I know that things give you joy. And I don't know, I guess it's hard for me to identify with being a maximalist because I'm not. And I've also had people leave comments on my videos that have to do with decluttering that they really don't care if they have a lot of things, and they don't care if their family or someone else has to deal with it after they pass away. Let me just say, I get it. I get that it's easier to throw your arms up in the air and let someone else deal with it. I can't emphasize enough how stressful it was for my sister and I to have to go through our parents' things. We were still working. We lived in a completely different province. We had to travel to Vancouver Island and deal with all the things over there. And we only had a limited amount of time, and it was extremely stressful. I remember that panicked feeling that I had when I had to take time off my contract job at the time and go out to the island with my sister to deal with my parents' things. It was hard, and I don't want that for my children. I really don't. I want to make things easier. Now, I'm not doing like a complete death cleaning like the Swedes do, but I keep in mind that they're busy with their own lives and their own families, and they don't need to be going through my old stuff that ends up being garbage and spending a good chunk of their life having to stress about where they're going to put all these things and how are they going to get rid of them and how are they going to find the time to do it. I think it's worthwhile really remembering what's important and what your children and your loved ones and the people that are close to you will actually remember. It's not going to be things. It's going to be the times that you went places or you went camping, or some of the funny stories that maybe happened at family events like Christmas or weddings or that type of thing. I don't think that the people that you love are going to care about your old mugs. When people ask me, how do I get rid of sentimental things? I guess my question to you is, who are you keeping it for? Do they really want it, and have you asked them? And if they want it, why aren't you giving it to them now so that they can enjoy it? At the age of 63, I don't need all of these things that I'm keeping in cupboards. They're not serving any purpose, just sitting there gathering dust. And it's the same thing with old photographs and crafts that your children made and that type of thing. It's definitely worthwhile considering maybe taking pictures of them in digital format, and then you can look at the pictures. I don't know of that many people actually who haul out all of these old boxes and look at all of these things that they've stored. And if you're only using your china once a year, maybe you feel great for that one day once a year, but maybe considering only having one set of dishes, and if you absolutely love your china and it's the thing that makes you happy, then use those every day. Because there's only so many days in our lives. I know that's a morbid thought, but it's true. There's only so many days that we actually get to enjoy the things we have. So why keep them in a cupboard rather than pulling them out and loving them every day, and then getting rid of the things that maybe don't matter as much? There's nothing wrong with using great bone china every single day. My dishes are plain white, but they are bone china and I use them every single day. I don't keep them hidden in a cupboard. Enjoy the things that you have. Don't put them behind doors. Bring them out into the light. And if you're not using them, then really consider whether it's worthwhile keeping them, and whether it's worthwhile for them to take up the real estate, both in your brain and your mind, because when things are cluttered and when your home is cluttered, your mind gets cluttered as well, and you get anxious about all of the stuff that's hiding in these corners. Consider how good you would feel if those corners are maybe empty, but you're enjoying the things that you love every single day. The things that get passed down are memories, the good times. It's not your stuff. Your stuff is just stuff. It's often meaningless. It really maybe only has meaning to you. And sometimes you think it has meaning, but you're never actually looking at those things and you're not enjoying that meaning. We all leave something behind when we're no longer on this earth. It doesn't need to be a stack of boxes and bins. Leave behind memories and laughter and peace and calm. Leave behind a sense of having lived a great life, and do it through doing things and having experiences that are meaningful to yourself and to your children and that are remembered. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Keep the memories and the good times, but release the mess. The truth is that no one wants your stuff when you die, but they cherish the memories and they cherish the moments that you have spent with them, or caring for them, or just making them happy. That is the important thing. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I really believe that as we get older and when we're in retirement, we start thinking about our things a little bit more, and our things give us anxiety. So I hope that this video empowers you a little bit to really deal with your objects and the things that are cluttering up your home, and make space for some new opportunities and new experiences, and allow yourself just to have some empty corners, because they are a wonderful thing. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all next week at my regular time. Bye.